All right, are you ready for the lightning round?
I am terrified.
The Divot and the Diva style.
I am terrified.
You should be terrified.
Because I have no idea where this is going
It's not that bad. It's
All
not.
right. Here's fast questions, even faster answers. First answer that comes to mind. All right, a 15-foot putt for $1 million. You or a PGA Tour player with his eyes closed?
Obviously the PGA Tour player. Are you kidding me? There's no way. I've had one eagle in my life. I don't think I'm gonna.
But what I want to know is, does the caddy get to point the PGA player in the right direction?
Yeah. How do you do the setup?
Setup. And address. I want the caddy.
You two are incorrigible. This is called the lightning round.
Sorry.
Fast
Keep going.
questions.
The next one is mine.
Answers.
Best golf.
All right, he talks sports for a living. He loves golf by choice. And today we're going to find out if Pat's golf opinions are as good as his radio takes. We're going to talk professional golf, the future of the game, and a little rapid fire. Don't be late to this tee time. Let's get it going. Now on the tee, Pat Strathman, station manager of ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. He's also the host of The Pulse with, of course, Pat Strathman. And it's on 2 o'clock Central Time, Monday through Friday. All right, welcome back and thanks for joining us today. I'm Jay. To my left is Susan, and we are the Divot.
And the Diva.
All right, hit subscribe. Please hit subscribe right now. Let's get it over with. Also like us, make a comment, and while you're at it, share us with your village of peeps. All right, our sponsor for today's episode is Friends University. At Friends, they have more than 60 degree options. Yes, 60. They have degree options for anything you can imagine. I call that career versatility. Here's what they also have. They have scholarships for every single undergraduate, and they are the top-ranked Christian college in the state of Kansas. Visit them today at friends.edu. That's friends.edu. Also, thanks to Scott Nelson at Ameriprise Financial, where he gives great financial advice worth talking about. All right.
That's all the commercials.
That's it.
For now.
We're going to hear from Scott in a minute, but our podcast is back on the road as we search for fun and entertaining places to broadcast from. Today, Pat was very generous and kind to invite us inside the studios here at ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. Pat, welcome to the Divot and the Diva, and thanks for letting us come by and hang out at ESPN.
Couple of things. There's a lot to digest there with that beginning. Are you sure you're not the Diva?
No, exactly.
Are you sure you're not the Diva?
I will be taking a poll later. Let me tell you.
You should.
Yeah.
You're in your Friends Red, and as you're describing Friends University, I'm like, is Jay going to ask me about a team that finished up as the number 4 team in the country last year, led by Terry Harrison, head football coach.
Nice one.
And
the host doesn't even shut up his phone.
Oh, that's just the way it goes.
Hey, I'm
perfect.
popular. What can I say?
That's perfect.
And
Someone's ears are burning.
And you guys are just totally throwing me under the bus. But that's okay. But anyway, we're glad to be here. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
Love
All right,
studio.
before we jump in, we always ask our special guest, how did golf find you?
How did golf find me? Well, I can tell you, growing up in Seneca, Kansas, we had a tiny 9-hole course is what we had. Not very big. I never picked up golf at all growing up. That was never my thing growing up.
Did your parents play or any of your siblings?
Nothing. No, my siblings did. And funny enough, I will never forget the first time I actually went out and said, hey, I'm going to start golfing. And it wasn't until I was in Topeka at 580 WLBW. Jake LeBon, who was my boss back then, Jake is a huge golfer. Mark Elliott, who was the voice of the Washington Ichabods at the time, lefty, guy can play a little bit of golf. He's pretty darn good. And they kept getting on me about, you need to get into golf. You got to do this.
They want to spoil somebody else.
Yes, that's it. So I went ahead and I did it. But the first time I did it, I was using my brother's clubs from like the 1980s.
The 1900s.
Ben Hogan
We just say 1900s.
The wood was an actual wood, is what it was.
Oh my gosh.
Like it was that old school.
Okay, you're really dating yourself.
Those are really, really old.
And I had these Craig Stadlers
The walrus.
Yes.
The walrus.
And like horrible grip, right? So I go out there and give it a shot, and Jake just looked at me and just said, dude, if you're gonna get into this, you better put some effort.
You gotta
into
do better.
This. You gotta go out and get yourself some clubs. Get you clubs that fit your size.
Right.
Because I didn't realize how big of a deal that was growing up.
Right.
Because
You're so tall.
yeah, exactly.
How tall are you?
6'7".
Okay, yeah, you need longer
Yeah,
gloves.
I need longer gloves. So
You can't borrow mine.
Yeah. So Jake said, hey, I have a guy. He's going to hook you up not only for the extensions, but also for the grips. Because
He didn't
grips
go, I have a
is
guy.
big. Yeah.
It sells clubs. He didn't do that?
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
he didn't do that. I did purchase some ping irons that were way better for me than the Craig Stadlers were.
Excellent.
Way better.
Excellent.
So that's how really golf found me. It was more so a couple of guys going, hey, you need to give this a shot. I said, sure, sounds great. So I started doing it. Back then I had more time to golf. Now, a completely different story with a wife and 2 kids. It's a little bit hard to get out there and golf.
Well, you could set up a pad right here on the sidewalk and hit right into the
Arkansas
Arkansas
River.
or Arkansas River, depending on where you're watching from.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the ability to putt in here.
Oh, okay.
You're actually in the putting zone.
zone.
So I'm
This
standing
is-
in your
putting
line.
zone.
Yes, that's it. 100%.
That's an oops in golf.
That's an oops. That's an oops in golf. But that's how golf found me. And ever since I started getting into it a little bit more, I dedicated my time to doing it. Then I got to Salina. I actually picked up some lessons and started to do a little bit more. Then moving down here to Wichita, life just gets so chaotic that I don't have the ability to get out as much as I would like to. But certainly that's how it got going. I was a late bloomer. I didn't have any idea, but man.
Oh, you weren't as late as I was. How old was I?
You're not going to get
What
me
am
in
I
that
even now?
conversation.
I don't even-
How old
I
were
don't
you?
even know how old I am
I'm not
now.
answering that.
50, was it
Smart
58
man.
or 59?
Okay, it's your story.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't start till 3+ years ago. So,
Oh, man.
yeah. And by the way, new golfers, did you hear what he said? He got lessons.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Yeah.
Always a good
well,
plan.
I was always blessed along the way to have just good people.
Mm-hmm.
Up in Salina, there were multiple people. So you have Kansas Wesleyan. I was the voice of the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes.
Oh, right.
So I was able to go, hey, just for a moment, can you give me some lessons? Like, can you help me out a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about, hey, you and I got to go after this every single week, but at least get me on the right path because I don't know what I'm doing. I know that if I do this, like, what does that mean? I have no idea.
Yeah.
And after just a few of those lessons, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, now I know as soon as I hit it a certain way, I know what I did wrong.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And
you can
that's
work on correct.
and that's really the battle of golf, as you know.
Yeah.
Now it's very, very mental. Sometimes you overcorrect
Yeah.
just a
Mental?
little.
You think?
Mental. Oh my gosh.
Just a little change in your wrist, and all of a sudden it goes 6 yards this direction rather than going 6 yards in this direction. So,
Right.
but I've been very blessed to have some people who were just willing to go, yeah, let's get out and golf, and I'm just going to watch you, and I'm not going to really get in your head, but I'm going to tell you why this is doing
And then
this.
you can figure it out.
And then I can figure it out. So I can make adjustments now, which that's really just golf in a nutshell.
Right.
If it's not working for you on that particular day, how do you adapt for the remaining 15 holes, 14 holes? How are you going to get through it knowing that there's something wrong?
Right.
And that, to me, is the challenge of golf. That's why it's so difficult.
We see that all the way up to the professional level. When
Yeah.
you watch PGA golf, LPGA golf, that we can see that. We can see the first couple of holes or like the first rounds of the week going. I mean, how many times have we seen Scotty Scheffler this year do so poorly early in the week and then take home the prize, or at least be up there in the top 10. It's shocking to me, but I think that's the resilience of golfers. The best golfers is one shot at a time, it's one hole at a time, it's one round at a time.
And then adapt.
And adapt.
And
And
adapt.
Yeah.
Jay tries, God bless him. He's got a difficult student, let me say. God gave me a really hard head for a really good reason. But so I always tell him, like, I understand the concept. It's the execution that I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
It's like getting it actually done is the hard part. At any rate.
We got Pat Strathman of ESPN Wichita 92.3. Pat, why has golf earned the level of commitment from your station? Because you've really done something that most local stations don't do. You treat golf as a major sport rather than talking about it 4 times a year around the majors.
Let me go back to when the station was created in June of 2021. Shane Dennis, who's on from 12 to 2, Shane was patient zero. He was the first one. The first show that he ever did was out at Crestview Country Club.
Oh, at the
That was
Open? The Wichita Open.
The very
Okay.
first one. And that was pretty cool to hear that, so we really, golf is right at the center of the story of ESPN Wichita.
Wow.
When I first moved down here, one of those guys who was teaching me up in Salina, when I told him, hey, I'm going to go down to Wichita and do this, he goes, man, can you hook me up with some Wichita Open tickets? What can you do? I'm like, is it really that big of a deal?
Yeah.
Like, is it really that big of a deal? And of course, saying that in 2021, I'm foolish, right? I have no idea if that's the case. I moved here in October of 2021, and then I get to my first Wichita Open in 2022, and then I realize, oh, this is a huge deal. It's a huge deal. It's community to its core, first and foremost, but then you have the future pros that are truly coming through Wichita. And being a part of that in 2022, it just opened up my eyes even more and made me realize just how special golf is in this community. You have the creation of the Heritage Classic. We've been there since day one. And seeing the future pros for the LPGA return to the birthplace of the LPGA at Rolling Hills Country Club, well, we want to be a part of that story.
Yeah.
Because golf is such a huge thing here in Wichita. So I have to go back to 2021 and get that first experience of like, what do you mean? It's not that big of a deal. And then I realized real quick, it's a big deal. So then when you naturally find out it's a big deal, you go, well, how do we make it even bigger? There's a saying that I always go by, no matter where I'm at, whether I'm in Atchison, Topeka, Wichita, Salina, wherever it might be, make the big time where you are.
Right.
And some might look at the event for the Wichita Open or for the Heritage Classic and go, well, it's not the LPGA, it's not the PGA. You don't need to do anything that major. No. We're going to make it big time. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make it big time. And that's exactly what we've been able to do. And we've added some few tweaks here and there. I think we've added more of a component to listen to the actual golfers that come to Wichita for the Wichita Open. We provide the play-by-play. We have the on-course reporter, something that Mike Kennedy started a long time ago.
Long time.
And we've just been picking up right where you guys left off and just trying to add a few more pieces to make this thing a full-blown production. And the best comments I hear are from those who don't necessarily listen to golf on the radio, but they go, dang, that was pretty darn entertaining. I just want to let you all know that this is very, very entertaining.
That's right.
And that's why you do it, right? You want someone to go, hey, I'm not one who listens on a regular basis, but that sounded amazing. That's why you do what you do. You make the big time where you are. And just knowing how big of a golf community Wichita is, it'd be foolish for us not to treat it with the utmost respect and then cover things on a regular basis with our partnership with Westwood One. We have the Masters, we have the PGA Championship, we had the PGA Championship for play-by-play last year, got it again this year. We did the Masters this year, had Masters updates. It's a big deal. We treat it seriously. And that's because we know that here in Wichita and in South Central Kansas, just in general, there's a lot of golfers in this area, and we feel like we got to bring it to them.
And this is the level where they start. I mean, this is where the LPGA and PGA players come from, or these kinds of tournaments. This is how they're earning their keep,
Well, and speaking of which, you've watched players come through here for the last 5 or 6 years, and they're essentially one hot stretch away from the PGA Tour. So is there a player that you've seen at the Wichita Open where you thought, that guy's different, before anybody else knew his name?
What's funny, I feel like I should be asking Jay that question.
It's true. He is the golf historian. We watch PGA golf, and he's like, oh my gosh, he was here. He was here too.
Because I'm going to mention something, and he's going to go like, man, that guy doesn't even crack my top 10. Because keep in mind, I'm limited, right? I've only been here since 2022.
You're a perceptive guy.
But knowing what I know, though, and getting an opportunity to walk with some of those golfers and talk with them, it's very easy for me to go with the local boy, Sam Stevens, and take a look at what he's been able to do.
Yeah.
He's an incredible story. When he had a chance to come here in 2024, man, it was a heartbreaker to say the least, him not being able to win it all when he was here. But you see what he's been able to do this year.
Yeah.
Just fringe top 50, if I recall correctly. $11 million.
Well.
He's doing incredibly well, right? But in 2023, I'll never forget. And the guy's not very big. He's 5'11", maybe. He's listed at 5'11".
So you kind of look down on him when you
I do.
talk to
Well, he
him.
looks down at everybody.
I do look down at everyone. But Jake Knapp, I think, is a player or a golfer that I looked at and I thought, dang, this guy's ball striking is very consistent.
Elite.
It's a very pure swing. And then you see him in 2025 when he ended up shooting, I believe, a 59, which was below 60, and I think that was only the 15th time maybe of a sub 60 in PGA history. He's in the top 50 this year. I think he's made $10 million, I think. So he's doing pretty well. So you might have a different opinion on it. But in 2023, when I had a chance to walk with Jake Knapp, I thought to myself, after seeing him do a couple of shots, I thought, dang, this guy's got pretty good ball striking ability. Now, they all look amazing to me because I stink, right?
Yeah.
They all look amazing to me.
Yeah.
But I think that Sam Stevens and Jake Knapp, those would be the two individuals that come to my mind. And good to see Jake Knapp tear it up and now be a part of PGA history by shooting a sub 60.
Yeah, we feel like we own a part of them because they've been here and they've been part of our community on some level. So
100%. Well, I mean,
makes it more fun to watch.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, heck, what kind of a year has Pearson Coody had this year? I think he might be top 75, top 70, or maybe not.
No, he made the top 70 because he was in the field this last week.
So there you go.
Which you had to be, in the top 70 to make it that far. And the interesting thing about him is he started the Wichita Open, I believe, was his either first or second professional event, 3 years ago. Then he immediately made the PGA Tour, didn't keep his card, came back down, and now he's back up. And it's just what you need in professional golf, and that's what Ben Hogan. That was his vision 37 years ago when he created the Ben Hogan Tour. He wanted a platform for these guys to learn how to score, learn how to win golf tournaments, but learn how to travel, learn how to schedule, learn how to plan, learn how to handle the media, learn how to travel. All those things,
right.
And some guys can do it sooner than others because they all have that great ability. So Pat, your station could simply cover the Wichita Open for a few minutes during your regular scheduled programs and say you support local golf. Instead, ESPN Wichita has really invested 5 years of additional programming in addition to the play-by-play of the Wichita Open. So from a station management perspective, what is the business case for ESPN Wichita investing in sports properties like golf?
Well, and like I mentioned before about the community aspect. When we go out there and we talk to individuals and they ask what are your core values and we say community, we don't just say that and then we don't deliver. It's very much, no, we're community focused. We're going to invest in this community. Here are all the different things that we're able to do. Because you're right, we dedicate a lot of our programming when it gets to Wichita Open Week, where we shift our program around.
Right.
I'm on from 2 to 4, Shane's on from 12 to 2, and we completely shift everything. Where instead of me being on from 2 to 4, I move up to the morning from 9 to 11, which is really interesting for me because I'm like, man, I need coffee a lot faster.
I'm going to guess not
It takes
real
a lot of
morning
coffee
person.
to fill a 6'7" body.
100%. And then with Shane, since Shane does the play-by-play aspect, I try to make sure we give Shane a little bit of a break because he's going to talk for 4 hours.
Long time.
For 4 consecutive days. So Jackson filled in from 11 to 1, and then we have Shane and the guys on the course go on from 1 to 5. And then Shane worked overtime this past year with the playoffs that were taking place.
Oh, right.
I don't think he got done coverage-wise until maybe 6:30, maybe a little bit before then, but it was absolutely nuts. But why do you do that? Well, there's a lot of businesses that are tied to the Wichita Open, a lot of businesses tied to the Heritage Classic, because we do the same thing for Heritage. We don't do the play-by-play aspect quite as much.
No.
But what do? Hey, get me Haley Cooper and let's talk to her.
Right.
Who had the hot round? I want to talk to him. Give me the main person for the tour, and we're going to sit down and talk, because we feel like it's important for this community to hear all those different individuals to understand the importance of these events in the city of Wichita. And then businesses, they know that we're involved, and they're like, well, we love this aspect. How can we get involved?
Right.
Well, that's when you can look at all sorts of different options and make it happen. So, yeah, the investment has been there for since 2022, because 2021, Shane was just out there just doing a show, and that was it. And then we ended up getting you and Mike Kennedy, and that's when we thought, all right, well, let's shift our programming around and let's do it. Now, Shane and I were thinking, well, maybe we get an off day. Maybe we don't have to do our shows. This is going to be great. No. We sat down and we said, how can we extend this and make it bigger and make the big time where you are? And I think we've done a fine job of that, and then adding some pieces here and there by being able to talk to people. I mean, heck, this past year was a challenge. We've dealt with some fun things the last couple of years. From last year, where you had the devastation out there on the course because of the storm, right? That was terrible.
Completely tore down.
Mother Nature had
17 and 18.
Yes, and then you had the wind.
Right.
And then the wind was just insane, to where there was a point where everyone had to evacuate with like maybe 15 minutes left of hole 17, but you had to evacuate. Those guys are out there playing in that, by the way. And then you get to this year where, hey, more Mother Nature, this time a bunch of rain. Well, how do you adapt? Well, instead of being out on hole 17, we're at hole 18. But we also found ways to, well, is there anyone that we can talk to that we can have on air right now, since they got downtime, we got downtime.
Right, because of the rain delay.
Because of the rain delay,
right,
yeah. Right. So we were able to adapt, and
that's where Mike Kennedy's prepare. Always be prepared.
Always
be prepared. Otherwise, you're reacting.
Yep.
You're not acting. You're reacting.
Yeah, because I was 45 minutes into my show on the first day, and I hear.
I'm like, oh crap!
You gotta be kidding me! Like, what am I gonna do now? And I feel bad for Jackson, because we always throw out the leaderboard updates on a regular basis.
Right.
It's not just, hey, we do it once. It's no, we're doing it basically every single break.
It's the same as it was 5 minutes ago, and 10 minutes ago,
and
20 minutes
I know.
ago,
That's
and
like,
2
and
hours ago.
that was the tough part about it all. And then I'm in there in the whole 18, like in the chalet, it's completely quiet. And then you have the rain coming down, and then you have everyone moving in, and it turns out to be a party. And I'm like, what are we doing? This is unique. But no, we enjoy it.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah, never a dull moment.
That's good.
And we definitely give it our all when it comes to these things. And that's really the case. There's a place for this, for sure.
Yes.
And,
awesome.
and the fact that we have the ability to do it on a regular basis has been a dream come true for us.
You know, one of the things the Diva and I have learned is that financial planning isn't about numbers at all. It's about having someone who takes the time to understand what's important to you. That's exactly why we enjoy working with Scott Nelson at Ameriprise Financial. From our very first meeting, Scott made it all about us, our goals, our questions, and what we wanted for our future and what that looked like. He didn't hand us a cookie cutter plan. He created a financial strategy built around our needs. He helped us build an investment portfolio that is truly diversified. He talked through ways to help protect us from life's uncertainties, which certainly come about. And Scott continues to meet with us on a regular basis to make sure we're still on track as life changes. And here's something we really appreciate from Scott. Even when we're not sitting across the table from him, we can access our accounts and financial tools anytime to see how we're doing. What does it do for us? It gives us tremendous confidence knowing we have a plan that's been created just for us, and a financial advisor who's there when we need him. So if you're looking for personalized financial advice from someone who truly cares about your future, we'd encourage you to reach out to Scott Nelson with Ameriprise Financial. Contact Scott today at rscott.nelson@ampf.com. That's rscott.nelson at ampf.com. I will leave his contact information in the description below. The Divot and the Diva is proud to partner with Scott Nelson at Ameriprise Financial. Now back to the Divot and the Diva. So, Pat, people can get scores, highlights, opinions from their phone, right? I mean, technology today is incredible that they can do that in seconds. So as the station manager, what does ESPN Wichita have to do locally that ESPN National, YouTube, podcasts, social media simply can't replicate?
Talk local. It's as easy as that. When you look at across the country with multiple companies in the radio world, you're seeing fewer and fewer local. You just are, because it's cheaper and easier.
To decentralize. Decentralize.
Yep. And just say, hey, we're going to have this format, we're going to have this show, it's going to be all across the country, this is how we're going to do it, because it's cheaper. It's an easier way to do it all. And that's fine. That might be okay for those, but for us, anytime that Shane or myself are on air, we're always going to bring the local aspect. And that's what I love about sports radio in general, where everything is so national, and those wonder about the future of radio. And you look at the music stations, you can get music on Spotify, you can get music here, music there, whatever it might be. The thing about sports is it can never really, local sports can never really be truly replaced. At least I don't feel like that's the case. I don't think you can truly replicate that. You can't get someone from the nation, from a national standpoint, to talk about Wichita. You just can't do it.
No, you have to be here, you have to know it, you have to feel it, you have to live it.
You have to live it. You have to understand it.
Right. It's
sure.
a different culture. Different parts of the country are different, and then different cities within those different regions.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what we do. We pride ourselves on being extremely present and localized, and we back it up on a regular basis, not only for our golf coverage, but also for the Wichita Wind Surge. We're here at Equity Bank Park, so we come here every day for work, which is kind of cool to say. I got to go to a ballpark for work every day, which I never thought that would be a
little boy's dream?
Yeah. And you got quite a playground out back if you really wanted to.
Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to talk to Ben, the head groundskeeper, be like, hey, can we get a specific spot so I can practice my chipping? Can we do that real quick? I'll get right to it. But our high school coverage has been incredible to see that thing grow. Just an example with our High School Athlete of the Week segment, which is something that I've always wanted to do, but didn't know when to implement it here in the Wichita market. We decided to do it. 24-25 was the first athletic year that we did it. Each video, we did 72 videos. We averaged on social media roughly 5,600 views. It's pretty successful.
That's good.
Until you see the numbers in 25-26 and you're averaging 11,000 views per video.
Ooh,
and that's only going to continue to grow. We just had a High School Game of the Week schedule that we just released. That got over 37,000 views on Instagram alone.
Just checking the schedule.
Just checking the schedule. That's all it is.
Okay.
So we understand the local aspect. That's what you have to do. What are you going to get from us that you're not going to get from the national guys? You're going to have the Golics on from 10 to 11. They're going to talk about the national stuff. Let those guys talk about national stuff. From 11 to 12, you have Rich Eisen on the station. Let him talk about the national stuff. What can we talk about specifically from the hours of 12 to 4 that's going to be local? Well, there's Wichita State. Obviously, KU and K-State are still local to us. You have the Royals who stink, but hey, you have the Royals part of it. You have the Wind Surge, so you bring in fun guests. We bring in guests all the time. Anytime someone comes to Trust Bank Arena, we try to get them on air. We understand the local aspect because it's easy. As you brought up, the YouTube, going to ESPN.com, you can go there, check scores, all that wonderful stuff. But the one thing that we're going to be able to bring to the table on a regular basis is the truly local content on a regular basis. You're not going to tune into us and hear us talk about the national storyline, unless it's a slow day, I guess. And if it's a big enough of a story, we'll mix in a little national, but primarily it's always going to be local. That's how we stand out compared to the national stuff. You have to understand that they're in place for the national stuff. What's going to separate you that's going to add to the programming, and that's what we've been able to do. And then you throw in our simulcast with Kansas City, and that's basically local stuff too, because they're talking Chiefs, Royals, KU, K-State. And when you have that combined with what we're doing, it really fits the programming schedule where we have 9 hours of local programming. The rest is national, but it's a good blend of national, but mainly it's all about local.
And it's the stories. We've talked before about, we don't, like, I kind of understand the game of golf. I play the game of golf, but I want to hear the stories about the Sam Stevens, you know, the individuals, where they come from, how they got here, what they're doing, where they're potentially going, where they've gone after being here. You know, those kinds of things that really make a difference, and that's a story you can tell. That's not a story a national syndicate is going to really care that much about, probably.
100%, yeah, and just keeping a close eye on all those. I mean, shoot, you see something take place for the amateur for Kansas in this past summer. That was legendary, and I'll never forget when I had to fill in to a high school athlete of the week. I went to Bishop Carroll to talk to a bowler who won the state championship, and funny enough, I ran into him while working out at the YMCA the other day, and he stopped me and said, "What's up?" Like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" So that was really cool, and that's just another thing about being local.
You live in the community,
right? But I was told, I was like, "Hey, you need to keep a close eye on this freshman golfer." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Oh, he did what now?
He did.
Yeah.
So, and those are the stories that you recognize, but those are the things that our listeners are going to care about. They want to listen to us because they want the local angles on a lot of things.
Well, these are their family. Yeah, these are their family, their neighbors, 100%. Their friends, their classmates. It's always more interesting. I mean, like, I love sports. I'll watch really any sports, all the way from toddler up. But it's way more fun to watch somebody I know. Or know something about. That makes it different.
Oh, the human element is so huge. I feel like you lose that a lot nowadays. You lose a human element.
And some we've talked about with NIL, it's like when they're coming and going so rapidly, it's like we hardly have a time to get to know them, let alone get to like them, you know, and so
it's a challenge.
Then it's like, okay, where do I really want to invest my time and energy? I don't know.
It's a challenge.
Pat, so give me one professional golf opinion that you have that would get the phones just lit up here at ESPN Wichita.
Like controversial? Like, don't make it up. I'm sure you don't need to.
First and foremost, I am not a hot take guy.
Oh.
I think people know that about me well enough, all right? So I was talking to someone the other day, and they're like, "Hey, you should do like a hot take." I'm like, I'm just not a shock jock. That just has never been my thing. I'm going to go based on what I see. This is what I believe in, and I'm going to try to see both sides of the story. I'm going to attempt to do.
Does that sound a little non-committal? Or
but here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you.
What do they call it? It's on cable, a show that you set somebody down and you have they're hooked on drugs and
intervention.
Yeah, this is the intervention with Pat Strathman.
Well,
we're going to turn him into a hot take guy. So at 2:00 this afternoon on the Pulse with Pat Strathman.
Wait for it.
Boy, it's going to be a different show, folks.
Maybe people want more hot takes. I don't know, but that's just never been my thing. But I will tell you, I'll never forget. I'm not going to bring this guy's name up, but it was at a former radio station. And this was a hot take. He said, "I never agreed with it, but I guarantee you that people would be listening to this and go, hold on a second." He's not a guy who likes golf. Let's just throw that out there.
Start there.
So that's a good start, right?
Yeah.
On the older side at the time, I'm not sure what age he is now, but he's a little bit on the older side. But I'll never forget on air when he was just ragging golf, because I have to hop on his show for, I don't know, a 5 to 10 minute period to talk about the local sports. Somehow we got on the subject of golf. I don't know how, but it's his show. I'm going to follow your lead, my man. That's what I'm going to do. I come in blind. You tell me I know enough about what's going on that I can kind of go where you want me to go, right? I mean, heck, I've been doing this for 13 years. I've been able to BS my way through a lot of things. So.
That's right. That's what you get paid for.
I'll never forget when he said, golfers are they're not athletes. It's a sport that is not, you don't have to be athletic. There's no skill involved. I'm like, whoa. you go out there and you try and do that. You tell me if you can do it. He goes, I don't need it to go out there and do it because I can tell you when I see these bigger guys on the tour and they're doing this, and I just want to be like, okay, man, like you do your thing. So I'm sure if you told golfers to go out there on a regular basis,
try to tell Gary Woodland that.
Oh
Gary
my
Woodland's one of the
gosh.
great athletes.
100%.
Forget about golf.
Well, things have
he
changed a lot too, though,
Yeah.
with golf. I mean, there's
It
a
has.
whole routine
Thank you, Tiger.
now.
Yeah.
All of the sports have their own workout routines and their sleep
Yeah.
routines and their nutrition routines and their supplemental
Yep.
routines. And now golf is on that bandwagon and has been for multiple years now. And yeah, I challenge anybody to go out there and play golf cold and not hurt in the morning.
You try walking 18 holes.
Oh, I don't even walk. I walked 2 holes, and I'm like,
see,
I'm not walking.
and that's the other thing. Like, you're just taking a golf cart somewhere.
Where's
and you
where's
feel
the
tired.
margarita?
You know, but
I just have to get in and out.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
yeah, see, and that's not my opinion. But when I
Sure.
remember him saying
That's
that,
funny.
I go, I guarantee you, if you say that to
It's
a
gonna
bunch
be
of people out
lighten it
there,
up.
there are going to be people out there that go, now hold
Lighten
on
it up.
just a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
light
You
it
know,
up.
so that would be.
Yeah.
It's not my
Stuff like
opinion because
that.
again, I'm not hot takey, but I'll never forget when he said that. And I thought to myself, oh man, how about you go out there and do that? Because I don't need to do that because of this. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to convince you. You're going to be
Right.
dying on that hill.
Right.
But I think you need to go talk to some of these golfers and realize what they can do on a regular basis because it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So one of the things your station does, and we're going to shift gears and talk about women's golf, but you and Shane Dennis both do your shows, as you said, at the Wichita Open. You'll also do that to some degree at the Heritage Classic. So what have you learned being around the Heritage Classic on the Annika Women's All-Pro Tour that fans probably don't know or appreciate about just the journey that these women have taken to reach what they've reached in professional golf?
And first and foremost, they can kick anyone's butt. I
they're
promise you
good.
that.
They're good.
It's amazing. Even just, I'll never forget going up in Salina. Annika was up in Salina for one of the events that they had up there. I think it was Salina Country Club where they were playing. And I was asked to go up there and be the person to introduce each golfer at a particular hole. Now teeing off, it was just really cool experience.
Oh, how fun.
Really cool
Well,
experience.
once you learn how to pronounce their names.
Correct. And I'm like, how you say this girl's name again? But seeing Annika swing and you hear the noise and like, did she hit the ball?
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can't even
It's a
hear
different
it.
sound.
Where'd it go?
It's a different
Yeah.
sound. It's so smooth. It's so soft, and yet just right down the pipe and really, really easy.
Yeah, I don't like to watch the girls play. It's depressing. It's depressing. I'd rather watch the boys play
Yeah.
and I'll watch all the outtakes of how many times it takes them to get out of the bunker and their
Yeah.
chip off onto off to the moon, and it makes me feel better about my golf game.
Yeah.
These girls are so dang
Well,
good.
that's why I think anytime when you watch a PGA, go, they're just like me.
Exactly.
Just like
Show
me.
me that. Show me those.
The problem is they're a little bit more consistent,
Okay,
and they're going to
yeah.
figure it out in the next hole.
Yeah, that's their
Meanwhile,
one-
it's going to be a problem for me for the rest of the
Exactly.
round. But I think
right,
when you talk
you're right.
to these gals and you figure out their stories and the amount of money that they have to invest themselves
Oh, yeah.
to go from city to city
They
to
travel
city
a
to
lot.
city, they're traveling all over the place.
The country.
First and foremost, just understanding that aspect. Then they get to a certain place. How do they go about, well, do you have a host family? Like, can I stay with a host family? Or do I have to pay my way on that? And then you have to throw out the fact, too, that, for where they're specifically at with the Annika All-Pro Women's Tour, just kind of their placement, they still have, little ways to go up
the
too,
ladder.
right? So there's even fewer resources to them to continue this journey, and it's a grind. It's
Right.
an absolute grind, and I think that's where I appreciate them a whole heck of a lot. I appreciate all those golfers who are trying to make it, because boy, there are a lot of good golfers. Jay, you agree with this, whether it's guys or gals, there are a lot of golfers who are pretty darn good that may never see the PGA or the LPGA.
Right.
A lot of golfers who are extremely good that will never reach to that point for whatever reason, right? I appreciate the grind and the journey that they've been on. And the other aspect is, too, just women's athletics in general, as someone who's got 2 daughters now, I'm more locked into it now than ever
Right.
before. I do stuff for Wichita State for
Opportunities.
softball. I do stuff for Wichita State women's basketball. And when you get a chance to be around them, I want my kids to be around them so they can look up to people
Right.
and realize those are good role models. And a lot of those girls are just so down to earth and so humble. And I like that aspect as well. But women's athletics in general, it's on the way up. And
Yep.
you have a professional softball league now in AUSL, professional teams that are out there. And I know I'm going off of the golf, the cart path a little bit.
Shocker.
I know, shocking. But I think overall, though, that's where you have to appreciate just the overall grind to where it's starting to get noticed.
Yes.
It's getting bigger. And since we started to be a part of the journey when the Heritage Classic was created, it's gotten bigger every
Exponentially.
single year. And I have no doubt that coming up in September, it's going to be the best it's ever been. So I really appreciate their overall ability to continue to grind and the perseveration to continue to be on this path, because I don't think people understand it. People just think, oh, golf, a bunch of money here and there. You get paid by all these different people. Not everyone's sponsored, people. Like, they have to go out there, they have to pay their own way, and they have to go a long, long ways to get to a certain place.
Right.
And that's why you got to appreciate what they're doing. They're grinding out there.
Yeah, as Ben Hogan always said, you're digging it out of the dirt. So go out there and work hard. All right, are you ready for the lightning round?
I am terrified.
The Divot and the Diva style.
I am terrified.
You should be
Because I
terrified.
have no idea where this is going
It's
to
not
go.
that bad. It's
All right.
not.
Here's fast questions, even faster answers. First answer that comes to mind: Augusta National or St. Andrews?
Oh, Augusta National. Not even
Tiger
close.
Woods or Jack Nicklaus?
Tiger. But that's probably because I'm 36 years old. So, Tiger.
Just a kid. Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy with your life riding on one round?
Scotty, man. And I love
So
Scotty
consistent.
too. He just seems like an average guy. And I love that.
Scotty
about
Scheffler.
Scotty.
Oh, I do
Oh,
too.
man, I love that.
I do
Scotty.
too.
All right, a 15-foot putt for $1 million, you or a PGA Tour player with his eyes closed?
Obviously, the PGA Tour player. Are you kidding me? There's no way. I've had one eagle in my life. I don't think I'm
But what
gonna.
I want to know is, does the caddy get to point the PGA player in the
good
right
call.
direction?
Yeah,
first?
how do you do the setup?
Setup. And add address. I want the caddy.
You two are incorrigible. This is called the lightning
Sorry,
round.
sorry.
Fast
Keep going.
I couldn't
questions,
help it. The next
fast
one was mine.
answers.
Best golf
All right, better golf atmosphere, Waste
wait.
Management Phoenix Open or the Ryder Cup?
Waste management.
Best golf movie ever?
Ooh, Caddyshack. Come on.
That's good.
No.
No, it's good.
Come on.
I love it.
Was that a judgment laugh on her
No,
part?
it's totally fine.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, just if you're around here, she and I quote movies all the time. Caddyshack's one of
Yeah.
them.
All right. Best golf announcer of all time, and you can't say Jay Delling, Shane Dennis, or
dang
Mike
it.
Kennedy.
Or my cat. Yeah, none of those
That
three.
stinks. Jim Nance, come on.
Oh,
Jim
yes.
Nance he does such a good job capturing the
Yes.
moment. Man, Jim
And
Nance
that
is good.
voice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello, friends.
One golfer, past or present, that you would love to interview.
Let's go Jack Nicklaus.
Okay.
One golfer you'd be terrified to interview.
Phil Mickelson.
Would you rather call the final round of the Masters or play Augusta National?
Play 100%. I would do so terribly, but just to say I'm out there playing, that would be a dream come true. Just like I had a chance to eat hot dogs with Joey Chestnut. I was going to get destroyed, but I get to say I competed against Joey Chestnut. So give me out there. I'll play.
Would you rather shoot 69 and nobody knows about it or shoot 79 with Tiger Woods?
79 with Tiger.
Yeah.
It's just breaking 100 is a good day for me.
Music on the golf course, yes or absolutely not?
Gosh, maybe that's the hot take. No.
It's a conversation.
I'm not
It's a
fan.
conversation, let
Not
me
a
tell
fan.
you.
All right, 5-hour PGA Tour round. Biggest problem in professional golf, yes or no?
One more time. Run that by me one more time.
A 5-hour PGA Tour round of golf. Slow play on the
long.
PGA Tour.
long time.
That's terrible. Don't like it.
Yeah, don't like
Don't
it
like
at
it
all.
at all. Pace of play. Come on.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
Shane Dennis's golf game. Buying stock or short selling?
Pressure. What people don't
Shane-
know is he's lurking. He's behind the
lurking.
scenes right now.
Shane happens to
Wait a
be in the
minute.
room.
I didn't know
I'm gonna buy.
I didn't know he could pick up a bat. He was a pitcher, right? He's got a bat in his hand.
I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, there we go.
I think I've gone with him twice, maybe. I know
Yeah.
one time for sure. I'll buy a little stock.
You are a weenie when it comes to hot takes. Good grief. All right, that's the lightning round
That's it?
with Pat Strathman
it.
Wow.
of
I
ESPN
told you.
Wichita.
I told you it wouldn't be that
All right, our
bad.
sponsors for today's episode are Friends University. At Friends, they have more than 60 degree options. They've got scholarships for every single undergraduate, and they are the top-ranked Christian college in the state of Kansas. Visit them today at friends.edu. That's friends.edu. We also thank our good friend Scott Nelson at Ameriprise Financial. He gives great financial advice worth talking about.
Yes, he does.
This is the Divot and the Diva, where experience meets curiosity. So please tap like if the episode made your day better, and subscribe so it can find you next time. We drop episodes about every 3 weeks or so. Again, great thanks to Pat Strathman of ESPN Wichita Radio for hosting us today.
Yes.
Always remember, play golf fast,
Even if it's bad.
play it fair,
Always.
collect friends along the way, and be sure to be here next time on the Divot and the Diva.
Bye, guys.